My name's Tom Averna, Deer Harbor Charters. I started the business in 1988, and it was a time when the salmon were plentiful, the whales were fat and happy. I can recall times where we'd be on the boat drifting 100 yards away from the whales, and a random female with her calf would come over, and the mom would have a salmon in her mouth and let it go, and we'd watch the little guy grab the salmon, bring it back to mom, and just kind of a teaching method. My favorite whale was a whale named Leo, L44, long time ago. I remember watching Leo hold up Oakham for a week. He was ill, and he was kind of leaning over, and I would watch Leo kind of keep him upright, and it was just amazing. Family. One word, family. The residents were, I spent more time with the residents than I did when I was raising my kids. The only way my kids can see me in the summer was they had to come on the boat. And it turns out my son, who used to come on the boat every day, he's the new owner. And he's got the same outlook and feeling about the residents as we do. Just yesterday they were out in West Sound here, and they were breaching and tail slapping and spy up. It was so fun to see a male, probably blackberry, come out of the water, and right behind blackberry would be a little calf, you know, like imitating what blackberry was doing. It was just so cool to see that. He came up to the boat when he was like 2 years old, and he had a big fat salmon in his mouth, and he just came over to the boat, spy hopped, like saying, "Hey, look what I have." I think he was still nursing at the time, so he probably wasn't eating, but he was certainly having fun with it. I remember Onyx coming over to the boat and just hanging out under the boat with the salmon in his mouth. You just don't see that anymore. That's the difference. The behavior of the whales is different because of the lack of salmon. When they're in here, they're always moving, they're always foraging, they're always looking. Whereas in the past, they were there and you knew what they were doing. I mean, the super pods on the west side of San Juan Island used to be just amazing. I mean, I've seen greeting ceremonies where all three pods got together. That's gone. I was at the lime kiln when Ralph Monroe gave that ceremony for Ralph, because Ralph passed away, J6. Ralph was a kidder too. J6 used to come on one side of the boat. People would go over and look, and then he'd be on this side of the boat, and people would go over and look, and he'd come. He did it on purpose too, I'm sure of that. But anyhow, I was there when all three pods came by the lighthouse and surprised Ralph Monroe, who had his back to everybody, and we hadn't seen the whales for 3 or 4 days. And all of a sudden, some guy yells, "What's that out there?" And out in the strait, and coming right towards the lighthouse. And the first whale that came by that breached was, I think, Spiden, who was Ralph's sister. And then the rest of J-Pod breached. And then K and L Pod came past after J-Pod. It was just incredible. And it just tells you that, you know, these guys are, if we lose the resident whales, it's just going to be, the whole earth is going to pay for it. It's just an amazing group of animals that have so much intelligence.